This is a very sensitive one. Let's see. Let me leave you react to this again.
Okay. There are a few things in this story that keeps me wondering. When you say a woman with political brigandage, I'm wondering. The English word for brigandage, has it changed? Brigandage is not a good word. And I'm sure he meant it in that sentence as a good word. You've killed a woman with our woman with political brigandage. So it speaks a lot to a lot of problems in our country. The country is completely broken on every front. That people who are expected to be speaking for executives are not mindful of their choice of words, right? Across the divide, you will hear journalists say certain things that you are wondering, is this person a journalist? Yeah, you hear them use certain words that you are wondering. You are expected to be educating the people. You're expected to know more than any other person if you are, facing the camera every time. I'm saying all of this because it's important for me to start from there, that a person who is supposed to speak for people use that word political brigandage severally, in the whatever that you just read. And it speaks to the fact that there's a lot of problem in this country. That's one. Then two, the duty to investigate and prosecute solely lies with the police. It does not belong to you as a member of a political party, right? So if you thought certain things were done and they were done wrongly, it was your duty to take your facts to the police and ask them to investigate. I thought this was not a fine way to act as someone who is representing a political party. I understand that this is political season for them and you must continue to cast aspersion on your opponent and throw brickbats and throw, muddy waters and all that on your political opponent. But where lies the fine line that divides, how you should narrate political events, how you should guide political events in an election period, and how you should not? Where lies the fine lines? Let the police do their duty and bring to book whoever really killed the woman with political brigandage.
Okay, now, Kogi State, since all towards November 11, the SDP Ajaka have come out to say, hey, you guys attacked me when I went for campaign over there. It's not like we did. So that he's basically saying he's the victim for playing the victim. He said he's the victim here against APC onslaught, calling for arrest and all of that. APC is saying that one of their supporters was slain in the course of whatever happened.
One of their supporters with political brigandage was slain.
Okay.
Whether it's his words or it's the word of the publishing house or the writer, I don't know. But I thought people should have looked into it because I'm sufficiently vexed at some of how these people weave narratives in public spheres.
He's probably trying to talk about how he's one of their most powerful, or maybe one of their strongest women supporters. But the thing is, that's a human being who died. And that's according to a female supporter of theirs. But here is a consciousness that I would like you to look into on this particular matter. Kogi State is very volatile right now as a result of the elections. Now, and it's primarily, funny enough, it hasn't been between the PDP and the APC. It's been between the SDP, Ajaka, and the Ododo of the APC. Now, help us understand, where is Governor? He's still a governor, Yahaya Bello, in all of this. That is a state under him that is being set ablaze by political stakeholders, whether it's the SDP or the PDP. We don't know who to blame. The police is yet to investigate. We don't know the outcome of all of that. Where is his place in all of this? We are hearing female supporter.
With political brigandage. A female supporter with political brigandage, right? Is the one who we are talking to.
That is somebody's daughter, mother, family, relatives, or friend. And it's been treated, even in that, she's been flinged about by political parties as if there is no value to that. Where is the chief security officer of the state? And why do you think that this may not be one of the things that, because that's far more easy, is a spokesperson in all of this. Yeah, that's the political brigandage person.
Yes, so I'm not a member of any political party in Nigeria, not to talk of even Kogi State. That's one. Two, I'm not in Kogi State at the moment, but so I would not know what exactly the governor is doing regarding it. But what I would just say to that is that as the chief security officer of a state, you must rise above and beyond politics at this time to see how you can douse the tension and make sure that you do not have chaos. You do not have this kind of situation that would drive investors from your state. That's what I would have expected. But to the degree at which he is involved, with all of this, I cannot tell. Just as Andy Akpotive that is speaking from Rivers State, right? I cannot speak to that.
But you think when it comes in terms of governance?
Yes. To the degree at which he's governing well or not in Kogi State. No, it's left for the Kogi people to decide that. I'm not in Kogi State, so I couldn't have been able to say whether Yaya Bello is governing well or not.
Now, so same yesterday or thereabouts, reports from between the PDP and APC in Bayelsa. They are talking about November 11 right now. Well, there was this, it's you, it's not me, it's APC, it's not PDP as far. Or why would the Governor Doeduri go to Nimbe to say this? The chiefs are coming out to say, no, you cannot be attacking our son. Doeduri wants to kill us and all of that. If you look at that and go to Imo State and look at the level of insecurity that has been experienced then, if you take that from Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo State, one begins to wonder, in all fairness, you think that the Nigerian security agencies are ready to ensure that these states are going to have, to a reasonable extent, a peaceful election without bloodshed?
How can they be ready? I have continued to maintain that when you throw grains of corn everywhere, you cannot control the number of cocks and fowl that will come to eat from it.
Okay.
It is INEC's responsibility to prevent violence in election by doing what some of us have said should be done or should have been done. As long as you continue to have this primitive way of voting and getting voted for, you would always have violence in the nature and in the manner that you are having it in Nigeria. Imagine, for instance, if everybody, I'm just saying imagine Nigerians, if everybody voted from their houses. Imagine, for instance, if on election day, we were told that from the hours between 10 and 12, you would be voting for X number of people, or say members of the houses of assembly. Or between 12 and 5, you'll be voting for XYZ. And everybody would be able to vote using their name. Or everybody will be able to vote using some kind of system that can be evolved by a thinking INEC. Do you think that you are going to be having this violence? Do you think that the politicians will need to go and get Egbe Wagers, like we call them from Delta State, Egbe Wagers, go and get resource boys, like politicians call them, when they're having these conversations, yeah? You know what they say, Vivien? Say, let's look for resource boys and resource girls. Get resource boys and resource girls to go and do this, their bidding. How many people's houses can you go to? Because Vivien is going to be in her house and she's voting. Angela is going to be in her house and she's voting. Musa is going to be in his house and is voting. Musela is going to be in his house and is voting. Dokpa is going to be in her house and she's voting. How do you go to their houses to do all of these things? I'm saying that in order for us to be able to get certain results, there are certain things that must be done. No one plants cassava and reaps cocoyam. It's impossible. Even if you are going to do hybrid, it must not be cocoyam exactly. If you are planting cassava and you are doing hybrid, we will give you something else. The truth of the matter is that Nigerians want to continue to plant cassava and hope to reap cocoyam. As long as we are failing to do the right thing, Nigerian police officers and security agencies would not be able to quell it. In any case, can they be everywhere? Can they be at Nembe, be at Brass, be at all the different places and all the different scenes that you are having these crime and criminal activities going on? Can they be there at the same time? What you therefore need to do is to fix the system.